So the goal is that we can record our stuff and then I can upload it onto Facebook because our Facebook Live videos go away after so many days. So this way we can kind of have an archive, save it, upload it, and they're not going to disappear on us like they normally do.
Well, good. You're so tech savvy.
Brittany, thank you.
You got this.
Brittany said she couldn't log in. I'm already thirsty. Will you make a piece of gum out of that top little thingy right there?
Listen, you're real needy.
I am.
She's real needy and she's everywhere. She's nesting and cleaning out drawers.
I am. I'm organizing.
It's really a manic Monday.
Which I'm really excited about. Move my button. Move my button. Yo, she's out here moving my buttons around. Tanya's pushing my buttons.
I don't want to do that.
No, you're really not. I mean, she did push my "you got this" button. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out the Zoomy.
Why? You ain't got to log on. It's recording. She's used to trying to get likes and follows and views. But we live.
I want to see what it looks like. I want to check this out. Y'all's going to have to be patient with us because this is a new platform. I know what it's called. A platform.
Zoom.
If you're in a crisis, please call our oh.
You got the wrong one.
Mine's not letting me in, but I am going to read.
Why is it not letting you in?
I don't know. My phone's going crazy.
I don't have nobody. Nobody in the waiting room.
This says preparing meeting. We want to use our voices to raise awareness, break the stigma, and share hope for others. We are not presenting here as mental health professionals. We are hoping to offer support and education from professionals and provide the opportunity to discuss topics covering mental health and substance use that will allow you, yourself, your beautiful, amazing, strong self, advocate for yourself and find a good support system.
If you're in a crisis, please call or text 988 for help 24/7. Please follow the guidance of your therapists, prescribers, and providers as everyone's experiences are different. And welcome to our new platform, to the new way we're going to try this party.
I'm trying. Maybe people's having difficulties with it. I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off and see if that helps. Maybe.
Go back over to where it says Zoom.
Okay. I did that. I want to join meeting.
It ain't a little fun if you ain't got a little confusions in your life. Edit your name, girl.
How do you do that?
The warrior goddess.
How do you do it?
Right there.
Oh.
You just tap on the spot. Queen. Listen, I saw this thing that says the vibe. Barefoot, braless, beautifully aligned, and choosing peace every damn day. And I said, admit, now it's gonna go wonky badonkies up in here. You got none left. You came and you left.
Oh.
And you came back.
Yeah.
Recording in progress.
Same.
Okay. So that's me. This is it.
Yes.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna log off. I was just logging on to see if it'd go through.
She just wanted to see what the party looked like.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's our topic today?
Self-awareness and action change. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I support that. Listen, I want to talk about a little fun win for myself.
Tell us about it.
I, this summer, have worn shorts as often as humanly possible. And I don't think I've done that in past summers. I have rocked shorts. I have rocked tank tops.
Deserve the sunshine of vitamin D.
These thighs are out here saving lives.
That's right.
I don't think that's valid. I have not done CPR with my legs in any way, shape, or form. But they get in sun. They get in the sunlight. They get in the breeze.
Epilepsy.
Epilepsy. They're on the elliptical. They be hitting the elliptical. I also, oh my God, I have worked out every day. Mind you, yesterday, Cassidy forced me to move her into her apartment, and I had to walk up 3 flights of stairs, 2,766.33 times. But we met her neighbor, Josh or John. I can't remember. He has a wiener dog. They didn't ask his name. We're not going to talk about that. Like, how you going to forget the dog's name, but you know the person's name? But he brought a box up. It was real sweet.
Well, just one. That's awful sweet.
It was real sweet of him. What are we talking about again?
We're talking about what is recovery.
Are we?
What is recovery?
Okay. Well, I did not take the peer support test, but recovery is a willingness to change, to make active changes in your life, and to be a better you for what you feel like it is.
What's Sam's definition? She gonna Google that.
I'm gonna Google.
We're gonna get the Sam's definition.
Definition of
Sam's.
Why is it Samsa, but it's Samsa? Okay.
It's Sam's.
Recovery defines SAMHSA, which is Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. So they're like the boss. Defines recovery as a process of change through which individuals improve their health, wellness, and quality of life, living a self-directed and striving to reach their full potential.
So when you think about recovery, when you think about the stigma of addiction and alcoholism, some of the things, the challenges I've had in my own recovery is like, well, they're just an addict or they're just this or that. You know, oh, they're in recovery. I bet they've been wild. You know, all that.
Right.
I tell everybody, I've told her, told tons of people, recovery doesn't mean you've ever drank or drugged at all.
No.
Ever.
No.
Recovery just means that you are becoming self-aware of your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual health, and you're growing each day to evolve and be a better version of you, becoming the best version that you can be. So that's recovery.
Well, so I want to ask this question because recovery, like various different aspects in the world, is its own culture. There's a very much so a culture of recovery, and there's also a community of recovery. So when you've got situations like people that go to AA meetings, but they only did heroin or they only did fentanyl, sometimes, and I think this is not a generalized thing, but sometimes they'll be almost kind of like put down by people or people that have never actually had a substance or drug use saying that they're in recovery being belittled or being told that they're not really in recovery by people that are in active recovery from substances. So I think that part, it can be kind of scary for people that haven't actually done a drug or drunk or anything like that to acknowledge that they're in recovery because there's a community or a culture around that is you've had to have had a drug or alcohol related problem to be in recovery. So how do we
that's where recovery coaching comes in. That's where I come in, right? It all boils down, I think, to stigma. It boils down to stigma, belief systems, and the culture that we've created, right, through segments of ENAs, CAs, GAs, all the A's. But when it comes down to it, every one of those meetings that people go to, no matter what substance, liquid, form, powder, gambling, sex, food, it doesn't matter. The 12 steps are the 12 steps. in every single one of them.
Right.
It's the same process. It is the exact same process. You just say, I'm an alcoholic, or I'm an addict, or, what? I'm in sobriety from gambling.
Yeah.
All the things. But I think it's a lot of stigma. And I think it's like, if we could recover out loud and educate people, and that's why I want to talk about it. If you educate people that recovery is exactly what SAMHSA says it is, then the stigmas need to come down. Right? We need to quit judging people. We need to quit shutting doors on people. It doesn't matter what people have, injected, drank, snorted, physically just beat themselves down, the vomiting, whatever comes with the symptoms of whatever you're recovering from, everyone can recover, because the definition states finding the best mental and physical version of yourself, and that's the spirituality on top of it, and you live a wonderful, blessed life working through a process that requires self-awareness and action to change. That's something I'm struggling with on myself. Like, there's a lot of things with my self-care. There's a lot of things like I'm self-aware of it, but without the action to change, I just keep being aware of it. Right. So I might take a few small good steps, do some good self-care for a day or two, but then I drop off for 3 weeks. So then I just have to really be self-aware of that. And for me, like, different people become self-aware in different ways, I feel like. So for me, it's like the 10th step inventory through the AA 12 steps that I work has taught me to do that, correlate with my sponsor, and accountability, and guided direction or suggestions from her that I, in my mind, cannot maybe think of, to be better the next day or to make things right. Journaling, I've done emotion journaling, I've done feelings of journaling. There's all kinds of things. Other people just sit down and have therapy, to do mindfulness and being self-aware with like some of the CBT skills and stuff that you all do in therapy sessions, to be more self-aware of what's going on mentally, physically, or spiritually. So it's not always a 12-step answer, but regardless, it's recovery, is what I feel like. And I think, like, if we could educate more people on that, and not to be judgmental, not to shut the doors, but just to help each other, that the world would be a better place. And it's like, my voice is not that loud. Right. But I'm going to recover out loud, and I'm going to tell people as much as I can. And that's what recovery coaching can do. It can help you see, like, you may have never drank anything your whole life. You may have never taken drugs. I did all the above, right? But all I know is I worked a 12-step process that required me to do things and find humility, do a self-inventory, change some of the negative flaws I have in myself that kept creating these consequences, making right some wrongs, and continuing to be self-aware and helping others. So that's it in a nutshell. I've learned to do that. Anyone can do that. Anyone can look inward, I feel like, and see, like, the 4th step that I worked. It's just going in and looking at what creates self, our social security and our sex instincts. All human beings created has social security and sex instincts. It doesn't just say you had to drink alcohol or shoot heroin to have a social security and sex instinct.
Right.
All humans have it. And that's what we inventory in the programs through the 12-step process. So I think anybody wanting to do better could go through the process of self-awareness. And then step 6 and 7 for me is the action to change what I'm seeing in 4 and 5. I'm seeing what inside of myself needs to change, so I don't have as much resentment, so I don't have as much anger, so I don't have all this fear, so I'm not paralyzed, so I'm not procrastinating, so I'm not killing myself. If I don't put the action in, there's never going to be change. So I think they have to go together.
And I can see that. And I think a lot of times we have to look at, like, addictions are so wide. And I'll never forget, like, I was teaching a group one day and someone was like, well, what's your addiction? Or have you ever struggled with addiction? And I was like, I mean, I don't, like, I do know that there were times, like, I'll never forget when I had my gallbladder surgery and I was much younger. I was an adult, but younger. And I remember, like, I don't know if anybody's ever had gallbladder surgery, but they pump you full of gas. And as that gas moves through your body, it kind of gets stuck in your joints and it hurts. And you can't lay down, you can't do anything. And mine was just like the little 4 holes. Like, it wasn't like how they used to do where they cut everything open. But I remember I learned quickly that Percocet helped me sleep really good, like sleeping straight up, sleep laying down, and I was consistently taking it even if I didn't have pain. And I remember my mom love that little soul if she ever watches one of these, because I remember when I turned 21, we went to Applebee's and I got a drink, and we got in the car and she was like, I'm worried that you're becoming a functional alcoholic. And I was like, well, you should have seen me before I turned 21. You would have definitely been worried.
Mm-hmm.
But she called me one day and I was like, I just took a pill. I think I'm going to sleep. And she was like, I really think you should stop taking those. I don't think you have that much pain. I think you should probably stop. And I was like, but they help me sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and like even now, like when people joke, I'm like, I love when I get sick because NyQuil, man, puts me out. I sleep so good. And we do think it's a coping skill.
Mm-hmm.
Our addiction's a coping skill. We're addicted to our social media because guess what? There's nothing better like the end of the day when I'm overstimulated to pop on TikTok and spend 4 hours in a deep hole where I'm not texting any back. If people are calling me, I'm denying it. I turn into a toddler, turn into Ridley when I'm watching a video and somebody calls me, exit, 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 deny, deny,
I
deny.
binged a show until 1:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Sucked at self-care because it's the one night I go to sleep early. But I sat there and binge and my phone was beeping and going off and I was like, I'm technically in bed. I'm not responding to nothing. I'm watching this show. I watched all 6 episodes till the end.
I've literally said I've binged an episode so hard that it ended at 6 a.m. when I heard my mom's alarm go off and I was like, shit, I better go to sleep right now.
Oh, Lord.
So she didn't know. But like addiction is a coping skill. And I think we get into a point, and it's not to like we never want to take away from things. Like my addiction has never cost me my house. It's never sent me to jail. It hasn't sent me to the hospital multiple times. I haven't overdosed from it. But that's not to say that my addictions haven't caused me significant strife or issues. It's not to say I look like I have a bruise on my forehead. Do I have a bruise?
And so people skip. Carry on. It is. That's what it's called.
45. But I think when we don't say things like that, we make it to where it stigmatizes itself more.
Mm-hmm.
Like recovering out loud is all about saying like I've made change, I've put effort into myself, I've done hard work so that I can be a better person for myself, so I can show up for my family, so I can regain my life, so I can do the things that I never thought would be possible. And that's one of the more beautiful things about being able to recover. But if we don't recover out loud, we make our own stigma. And I think that's the problem with people that don't acknowledge that they're in recovery because they don't want to insult an entire community of people that have alcohol, drug issues. That perpetuates their own stigma. So when you go to an AA meeting and they're like, you aren't addicted to alcohol, you aren't welcome, or whatever, then they're creating their own stigma, which is saying like the call's coming inside the house. You're stigmatizing yourself, wanting to break the stigma by telling people that they can't be in recovery, even though they're actively in recovery from their own personal addictions. But you want to know why there's a stigma.
Mm-hmm.
That's because we're putting ourselves in a box and saying, why are we in a box? Why walked inside?
Social security and sex instincts. The whole world is stigmatized. We live in a world of stigmatization.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a word?
It will be today.
I made it.
Stigmatization.
Anyways.
This is the word.
Stigmatization. I can't do it now. But I mean, we do because society, like, just over the years, it's evolved, especially with social media.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody can post the pictures of their lives and their bodies and their cars and their houses, and it's like people just paint this picture of what it's supposed to be or what you have to live up to, and if you don't, and then there's the judgmental side. And I don't know. I think that all programs should be open. I think there are some of the programs that when they do that, you just have to kind of feel for what you're trying to achieve in your life. So if you go into a meeting with a bunch of old timers that go by the 12 traditions, die hard, don't say nothing but an alcoholic, or we're going to run you out, you might not want to go back to that meeting if it affects you that way. But there's other good meetings where there's people that will allow you to be you. There's support groups online. There's we do groups,
Mhm.
in person and stuff every month, just having a fellowship of people that are like-minded, that click with you, that can help you achieve the goal of
Yeah.
recovery, get better, all areas,
Yes.
that's the goal. And if you want a recovery coach, I'm right here. I mean, I'm kind of hard, but I do it with love.
Mhm.
I really do. Because I love. I had to learn it's not intimate or sexual. Love is having true care and concern for another human being,
Mhm.
as I do for myself. So once I learned to start loving myself and forgiving myself fully, then I can truly love other people. And I love everybody. I love strangers. I was talking to the girl in my drive-thru. I get my coffee every morning. I could tell she was upset. I was getting my coffee, 6:30 a.m., and she just kind of just start talking. And I'm like, well, it's gonna be all right, And I shared a little bit of mine that was similar to hers or what I'd went through just in that exchange. And I said, it's okay. I said, I love you. She said, thank you. I love you too. And I don't know if she understood what it meant, but it made her feel better to hear someone say, I love you. And I meant it. I had true care and concern for her feelings at the time. And it's just like interactions like that. I don't have to just get my coffee. Oh, let's do it in a moment. Somebody was hurting. They were showing up for work and trying to support their family and going through something. And I could say, I love you to them, right? I don't have to stigmatize like who or when or how I help someone, or it has to be in this setting or at that place or with those people. Let's do it all the time. I think it's a process. And I thank God for the people like me that I have found in my life. It didn't matter where I was or what I was wearing or whatever. They were there to help, help me be self aware
Mhm.
and help me to put some action in to get better.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. So it's working. It works.
It works if you work it.
It won't if you don't.
But I do think, because I know that we usually try to keep these 30 minutes or so, I want to acknowledge a huge like a huge thing. Again, is just to reiterate, SAMHSA stands for Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. If you are in the state of Kentucky, you know that as a peer support, there are a massive amount of changes that are currently happening. Again, your voice is so, so freaking important. Like, not only just to recover out loud and say you're recovering out loud by posting it on Facebook, but by calling your legislative, by calling your representatives, your Senate, the governor, like, use your voice. No matter what state you're in, it does not matter how you feel about your state, the government, or anything like that. The worst thing you can do is just assume that your voice is not important because it's one of the most important. So seek out, find your connection, find the people that are directly impeding all of your ability to do what you're supposed to do as a peer support or in the recovery community, and force that change politely and without violence.
Yeah, because you have to show respect at all times. Part of it.
But do understand it's all about you making a change and working through that yourself. We're here. We support you. We love to see it happen. Recover out loud. Anybody can enter into recovery, whether it's mental health, substance abuse, or anything in between, and know your worth. Don't let anybody take it away from you.
And don't sit and just say, I know. I really do. I don't like that word. I don't do well when people say, I know. I know. And when I say it, I'm like, why am I saying I know? Because I know what I'm doing. I'm acknowledging for them to shut up because I know. Now let's move on to something else. So then the action just kind of dissipates.
Right.
Out. Like blowing what's them called?
Dandelion.
Yep. Just blew and made a wish. There goes my action. So when you think about it, like knowing is the first step, I think, But if it's not followed up with some action to change and that willingness and then the action you put in to be uncomfortable, to do something different, because a lot of times our beliefs, our lifestyles, our habits we've created over years and years and years, it's kept us kind of like not well mentally, physically, or spiritually. We've done them so long, it doesn't feel okay to do something different. And it's like, oh, that don't feel good. That's stupid. I'm not even used to that, so I'm not doing it anymore. But if we don't create new habits and new thinking, we're still going to remain the same.
Yeah.
We're not going to grow. So it's all about the action part. It's just knowing. If you say, I know I struggle with this, or if you say, I know I need whatever, if there's no action to change it, you're just saying, I know.
Yep.
And everything's going to remain the same. They always say in our recovery community, nothing changes if nothing changes. You know, you got to change things. You got to be able to get uncomfortable and dive in and walk on new ground to have, you know, that new outcome of freedom that a lot of people are searching for.
Yeah.
And even people without just drugs and alcohol. That's my whole point. You know, anybody can recover from anything in this world. It's just being better at something, being better with yourself. Better.
I agree. I actually, one of my friends messaged me and she was like, when was well, I don't remember how we were talking about it, but she was like talking about like joy. And I had like a Reiki session earlier by Amira, if you watch all the way through here, which was amazing. But I remember in there, she was like, what is like, do you experience joy? And I was like, I have no clue. Not a clue. I'm happy. I have moments of very serious happiness. But my goal has always, and I've always said, so if I've done therapy with you before in the past and you're watching this, my goal is always like never settle for happiness. I'm always like, what's your goal? To be happy. That's wild because it's an emotion. I can be happy, sad, mad, glad, hurt, resentful, and envious all within 25 minutes. It's ADHD, you know, we got that. We rock like that sometimes. And so it's like your goal should be for peace so that no matter what emotion happens, you still have a center of peace. And I think that is something that we all spend our entire life striving, but we never know if it's hit us in the face. So,
self-awareness.
Yeah. Are you at peace? Do you experience joy? That's
if you don't, how do we get there?
Maybe we'll cover that.
Closed mouths don't get fed. You got to speak. The voice is important. Got to ask for help or say, you know, I don't know if I need help or not, but hey, what you're talking about, I want to pick up on. So what the hell? Let's talk about it a little more, you know, because I mean, I don't know. Just over the last decade, my life hasn't only been restored to before my hardest times, but it's even better. And not financially by any means, but more internal, like the peace. And the learning to let them and let go and all the things I've learned along the way. And it came from tons of people. It took a whole army to build me up where I'm at. So I would have never done that if I hadn't have been seeing what meetings were toxic for me, talking to a sponsor about it, and like, well, maybe I need to choose another one. Maybe I should try this or try that. There's so many different avenues to reach this recovery path.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't just have to be one meeting or one way. It doesn't even have to be the 12 steps, you know. It can just be a matter of inventorying self, just being aware of the things and getting honest and having somebody to talk to hold you accountable when you try to tell yourself bullshit lies and believe them.
100%.
That's the it.
All right. We will see you guys on Monday the 18th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Comment below if you have anything that you really, really, really want to talk about. If not, we may take on the let them theory or finding love or finding self-peace or whatever we come up with probably on Monday. So
just another
magical
Monday.
Yeah.
I had to throw it in there.
Just one of them Mondays.
Yeah.
Bye.